So the Celtics looked like a slam dunk to win the NBA title, or at least the Eastern Conference. Although shout out to Milwaukee. Shout out to Doc in Milwaukee. Like they're getting their shit together. But the Celtics, like, were running roughshod over people. Had 111 straight, up by 22 against
in the fourth quarter.
The team of your youth.
In the fourth quarter.
Right. Against the team of your youth, the Cleveland Cavaliers, your youth, the Utes. The Cleveland Cavaliers. Did you say Utes? And even without Donovan Mitchell and Mobley, right? And they were missing Evan Mobley.
Yeah, Mobley goes out in the
Mitchell,
third quarter.
Mobley. Yeah. They still managed to come back behind D. Wade. Dean Wade, that is. 20 in the fourth quarter. And it came down to, all right, sidebar. I'll get to the sidebar first. Because if anytime there's bad officiating, we write about it, we rail about it, we complain about it,
yes.
we talk about what a crisis it is. That was the right call at the end of that game.
Yes. Yes,
Jason
it was.
Tatum extended his leg, initiating the content. After review, no foul, excellent officiating. So I wonder, was this just a hiccup in March? Because the question with the Celtics, nobody questions their talent. Nobody questions the balance of their starting five. Greatest offensive team, statistically speaking, in history. One of the most dominant teams in terms of point differential that we've ever seen. This recent win streak, I mean, they were just blowing people out left and right. They got 3 wins by 50 points. We know they're good. We know they're talented. Are they smart enough and poised enough to not choke in the playoffs? Be it the Eastern Conference Finals,
that's the question.
Be it the NBA Finals, because they've been there, they've been right there. It's not like they're a first round and out team. And so, what does last night have to do with that? Does last night give you a
last
hit?
night?
Or was it just one of those nights where Dean Wade caught fire? Because I mean, some of them shots he was hitting was just like out of this world. And that's a good team. By the way, that's not the Cavaliers are third in the East, a distant third from the Celtics. Everybody's distant from the Celtics, but they're a good team.
Good.
This was on the road.
They're really good.
It was Kelsey night. It was Kelsey night. It was all
Kelsey's
sorts of, I mean, so is this shit happens, or do the Celtics still have too much shit to them?
Kelsey night, Cleveland Heights night, everything going on. Okay, look, you asked me a few weeks ago about the Celtics, what's their weakness? And I told you one, I think I told you the wrong one. I led you wrong. And I
think you said it was their depth or lack thereof.
Yeah, exactly. A few weeks ago I said depth, you know, they need a guy. They need a couple of guys to prove themselves in the playoffs because right now coming off the bench they have either, on a normal night, they got Al Horford, who is proven, but they also have Sam Hauser, unproven, Peyton Pritchard, unproven, Luke Cornett, okay, those guys. But that's not the problem. The problem is what you just said. It is these frustrating bouts. I feel like I'm talking about kids sometimes. These frustrating bouts where everything is going well and you do something so inexplicable, so unnecessary, it makes me wonder if I can trust you when the moment comes. So the Celtics running away with the game and the Eastern Conference, but in the game, 22-point lead in the fourth quarter. Jason Tatum starts shooting his way and his team out of the game. 1 for 9 in the fourth quarter. Jaylen Brown does not score, does not take a shot in the fourth quarter. Plays 5 minutes in the fourth quarter. We showed Joe Mazzulla there, the head coach, second-year head coach. Now, last year, you know what, talk about disrespectful. Last year, his nickname, this is just wrong, but last year, his nickname was Second Row Joe. It was Second Row Joe because he was.
Why would you even repeat that?
He came from like.
I get the joke. I get it. You should explain it. You can't explain the joke. Don't explain the joke. I get it. Why are you laughing at it? You said it's wrong, and you out here celebrating it. It's up.
It's
like,
funny.
why you sitting up here like, oh, this is so wrong? Like, this is disrespectful.
I may have used it.
Did you give him this nickname?
I may have used it.
I'm about to say. Talk about last year his nickname was, as in you gave him that nickname?
I didn't give it to him, but it was out there. It was out there, and I may have, kept it going.
Disrespectful.
I may have kept it in the atmosphere.
Second
row Joe, but listen, this year.
That's such a Boston media thing to do.
It is.
That's what they be talking about with y'all. Y'all do that kind of stuff.
It is. It is. It ain't a media thing. It was a fan thing. It was a fan. I took it from the. I got it from the fans. Anyway.
All right. Okay.
But Joe Mazzulla has, this year, you look at their start. But last night, Michael, not in addition to all the things I said about the 22-point blown lead and Jason Tatum, it's 16 seconds left in the game. Joe Mazzulla's got this thing. I don't know what it is. Somebody needs to tell him he's allowed to use them. He had 2 timeouts, 16 seconds left. It's almost like he thinks the timeouts are in escrow, and you can't touch them for 3 months. You can touch them. Do this. Do this. Call a timeout. Doesn't call a timeout. Watches Tatum kind of dribble into that bad shot that you talked about where he's like, oh, at the end, I'm just going to put this little punctuation on. I'm going to kick my leg up. Hope I get a call. He got a call. Fortunately, it was overturned. But these are the types of things that kind of wear down the Celtics. These things kind of nip at the Celtics, and they hover over them. And until they answer these questions, the questions about them right now are fair. They haven't answered the questions sufficiently. Can you come through in the clutch? This year in the clutch, their record is 11-9. So down the stretch, 5 points, game within 5 points, 5 minutes to go. They're 11-9. A little different than that Sterling running away with the
48
NBA.
and 13, yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Okay.
Jason Tatum on a shot to win the game.
Yeah.
0 for 7. 0 for 7 this year.
Okay,
For a chance to win it.
You came with
0 for
stats.
7. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Got some numbers.
I am impressed. I am impressed.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. Okay. You have trust issues when it comes to Boston for all the reasons you just laid out.
Yep.
Will this matter before the NBA Finals? Because I wonder, when you look at the Eastern Conference, the only team as presently constituted, for the most part, a few new faces,
Yep.
that can say, been there, done that, got the T-shirt,
Word.
is Miami. Is Heat culture. That's the only team
over the Celtics, you mean?
In the Eastern Conference. I'm saying if you don't
Milwaukee.
trust the Celtics, well, no, they won a championship in Mike Budenholzer and Drew Holiday and Giannis Antetokounmpo, but like
you're saying, but this group
Doc
right
Rivers,
here.
I'm saying in the Eastern Conference, if you don't trust
Miami's
the Celtics,
got a different group.
No, that's what I said, for the most part. I said for the most part. But I'm talking about like the core in Miami or just Heat culture. No matter what the Heat's record is, they're going to find a way to ruin somebody's playoff party. They're going to find, like, you're going to look at it like, damn, man, Miami again? That's just the way they are, okay? But I'm saying otherwise in the Eastern Conference, if you don't trust the Celtics, who do you trust? It's not like the Sixers, and specifically Joel Embiid when he's healthy, having a track record of coming through in the playoffs. Milwaukee, yes, the Bucks won a championship recently behind Giannis. They look great again. Their defense seems to have, they seem to have starting to figure it out on defense. They just beat the Clippers the other night without Giannis, right? Behind Dame Lillard. Mm-hmm. So it's like they're obviously a threat, but there are trust issues on the bench with Doc Rivers, even though he has won a championship in his career. We've talked ad nauseum about Doc Rivers, especially if they get up 3-1. Sorry, that might have been a low blow, though not as bad as second row Joe.
No, that's lower. That's lower.
So I mentioned the Sixers. Cavs are young and haven't been there, done that yet. So I guess it comes back to Boston. Like, is this a big enough issue to cost them against any of the other teams in the Eastern Conference, or is it once they face the Nuggets in the finals?
Mike, I trust them driving around the neighborhood. I trust them driving around the city. When you cross state lines, when you out of my view, okay? When you on the other side of the country.
Then it becomes a federal offense, just so you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You cross the state lines.
Right, yeah. Like, will you do the right thing? And I'm talking about the West, because I think they got the East. I think they got the East on lock. But when you take on Denver, we're going to see Denver. We're going to see them tomorrow. They play them, and that's a great matchup. But how are you going to do against Denver? How are you going to do against the iron of the West, whether it's Minnesota or Oklahoma City or the Clippers or who knows, like somebody surprises Phoenix and gets to the NBA Finals. How are you going to do when the stakes are highest? Because that's really what the Celtics are about. They've won more. I told you last week, they've won as many games as the Warriors the last 5 years. So they ain't got a championship to show for it. But regular season, they've won a bunch of games, but they haven't won a championship. And they really are judged by, are you championship material? Do you have championship metal? And right now, the answer is no. Answer is no. And it could be yes in June, but right now we haven't seen it. So let's see it.
Okay. Fourth quarter of the season, man. Should be fun.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.